Today we're going to take a look at my 4 go-to thoracic spine mobilizations. These are my 4 go-tos because I think they're really beneficial and effective, as well as really easy to do at home with little to no equipment. Really all a person needs is a foam roller. I like the short 1-foot foam rollers, but a 3-foot roller will work just fine. Okay, so for the start of my thoracic spine mobilizations, we're going to start with what I call a foam roller extension protocol. For that mobilization, a person is going to start in a seated position, place the foam roller at the base of their thoracic spine, so right where a person's rib starts, lightly interlace the fingers across the chest, and induce extension at that thoracic spine segment. Then bridge the hips up, roll that foam roller down, settle the hips, lightly interlace, and then extend again. Keys with this mobilization is avoiding globally extending. Okay? In a globally extended position, I'm getting no segmental extension from the thoracic spine. For this, I really want to think about inducing extension at each one of the segments where the foam roller is at. So, starting at the base of the rib cage, extend, roll down, extend, roll down, extend. So, making 6 to 8 stops as a person works up the thoracic spine. My second thoracic spine mobilization is a position known as the Pretzel. The Pretzel is a sideline position where a person flexes their top hip up to 90 degrees and then tacks it down with their bottom hand. They then want to make sure that their bottom hip is in a slightly extended position as opposed to a flexed position. So I'm going to get into an extended position, and then I'm going to flex at the knee, reach back, grab my toe, and then induce thoracic rotation and extension. While doing this, I really want to think about good breathing mechanics. That's going to allow me to induce more extension and more rotation. So I'm going to have a big breath in, and on the exhale, I'm going to let my shoulders fall and induce more rotation. My third thoracic spine mobilization is what I call a sideline around the world. For this mobilization, we get in a really similar position as the Pretzel. We're going to start in a sideline position and pin our knee on top of this foam roller, really similar to that position that we started in with the Pretzel. And then I'm going to make sure that I am stacking my hips and my shoulders on top of each other. I want to avoid rotating at the lumbar spine, and that's essentially why we have the foam roller here underneath the knee. We want to lock out the lumbar spine. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and tack both hands together, making sure that my shoulders are stacked or even slightly in front. And I'm going to work around the world, recreating and tracing an arch as I rotate and extend through the thoracic spine. And then I'm going to rotate back and repeat. Alright. My fourth thoracic spine mobilization is one that has an overhead bias. So this mobilization looks really similar to the foam roller extension protocol that we utilized for our first mobilization, except we're going to recreate an overhead position. A majority of the athletes that I see that really need to focus on thoracic extension are my overhead athletes. So we're going to recreate that position for a lot of those athletes. So for here, once again, we start at the base of the rib cage, our lower thoracic spine. We're going to arch our hips up or bridge our hips up, and then recreate an overhead position and mobilize and roll through the thoracic spine up and down. What I want to focus on here, similar to the extension protocol, is avoiding that globally extended position. I want to tack my ribs down, keep my abdomen engaged, and have a solid overhead position while rolling up and down. So, those are my 4 thoracic spine go-to mobilizations.